Fishing has always been one of my favorite activities in games. It's relaxing, fun, and I love the idea of feeling an encyclopedia of fish. But I always felt that fishing is often too simple and repetitive, especially in games like Animal Crossing, where it boils down to press a few buttons and you're done. So I decided, why not make a game where fishing is the main mechanic? My goal is to add more depth through realistic hook physics and unique fish behaviors. This idea has always been with me for years, and after finishing school and a small side project, it finally feels like the right time to bring it to life. I planned for this game to have around 4 areas and about 15 to 20 fishes total. Some may have simpler behaviors or be of sundry rarity, but I also want to add some area variations, such as currents for the first area to add some spice. This game will be a side project of mine until I get a job in the industry, but if I struggle to get one, I will put more time into this game, so don't hesitate to send some love if you can and support us as well on all of our platforms. You play as a little frog who travels from place to place, catches fishes, materials and even waste. These can be used to help locals or upgrade your gear. The goal of the game is to explore, fish, do some quests and talk to the NPCs living there. Once you complete enough quests, you can then move on to the next area. I'm still deciding for the movement between a top-down view similar to games such as Animal Crossing, or a classical 3D view, such as Little Gators. When you go near the water, you can then fish in a 2D hand-drawn and animated view. You will then control the top of your fishing line, going in left, right, up, and down, with the hook following the movement with a certain delay. I want the hook physics to be fun, yet still be quite challenging to control for the player. Each area will have its own pool of fish with special moving patterns. For the ocean area, for example, you will find puffer fishes that will explode if you go near them, so you will have to make them explode at first, and then wait before you'll be able to catch them. You will also find a crab with claws that will force you to go in between them to catch the crab. The goal is to make each fishing encounter feel more like a little puzzle, rather than a repetitive button press. The first area, the forest, acts as a boss tutorial zone. It's a calm, lake-like environment where players can slowly learn the mechanics. Here, you'll encounter simple fish, like a slow-moving species that will teach you the basics, and a smaller, faster fry that requires more dexterity. There will also be some small rivers with currents where salmon swim, and hidden in the area or with a certain percentage, there might even be a rare koi fish. Alongside the fish, the lake also contains collectible materials, branches, moss and rocks, that can be used to upgrade your hook or handed over to locals NPCs who might need them for their own tasks. Quests are designed to give structure and variety. Some will be straightforward, like catch a certain fish or collect these materials. Others might be a little more creative, such as searching for a lost object in the zone or even administering medicine to sick fishes, which adds a small storytelling layer to the otherwise puzzle-driven encounters. I want the NPCs to feel like part of the world rather than just quest dispensers. Talking to them, learning about their personalities, and seeing how their requests change the environment will be part of the charm. The overarching goal with this project is to create a game loop that feels relaxing but never boring, puzzly but never overly punishing. Fishing is the main mechanic, but exploration, upgrading gear, and interacting with quirky NPCs will all add layers of depth. By giving each fish unique behaviors, tying progression to community-based quests, and introducing some small world-building details, I hope to make the game feel both cozy and rewarding. The first pond or the ocean area will probably be my vertical slice, and once the core mechanics are polished, the plan is to keep expanding into new biomes, each with its own theme, fish, materials and challenges. And yeah, there you go, this is the base for my game. Now let's go to the implementation part. I've decided to go with Unity, since it's what I've been using the most over the past few years. I could have gone with Godot, because both are totally fine for a 2D project like this, but Unity just feels more familiar and faster for me right now. First of all, I wanted to make a small prototype with the hook physics. Simple fishes that just move from left to right, as well as being able to catch them and reel them. For hook physics, I looked a little bit into rope animation and physics and found this lovely tutorial by Sasquatch Bee Studios that talked about exactly what I needed. I will put the link in the description if you want to check it out. I drew a very long line for the fishing pole and then set up all of the bones for fluid motion. I then added my hook, similar to the ball in the tutorial, so that it stays attached to the bottom part of the fishing line. Then, using the new player input system and rigid bodies, I tried my best to simulate the feeling of dragging your hook through the water. I think it came with a pretty good result for now, but of course I have to test that out when I will add more fishes. Speaking of fishes, it was time to add my first one. I just drew a simple sprite rapidly and added a collision box to its mouth. I made it so it would go in a random direction, either on the left and on the right, and then added the option to catch it. Here's the result of all of that. Of course, I still had some issues with the fish sometimes being catched from its tail instead of its mouth, so I had to fix all of that left-right problems. Now, let's be real. The prototype looked ugly. Even for a placeholder, it was too rough. So I went down the rabbit hole of our research, and let me tell you something, this was not easy. I had to look at hundreds and hundreds of pictures and videos of aquarium, lakes, ponds, and the ocean. I had to understand fishes, become fish, learn which plants go where, make sure the screen was still visible. It was kind of a nightmare, but also quite fun. I first went with a painted look, but as you may have noticed, I'm not very good with backgrounds. I scrapped all that and got really inspired by Steven Universe's art style, so I decided to go with a simple line art and soft colors look. This is not definitive, but I quite like it, so I decided to go with that for now. I integrated all of the assets into the game, added the collision box detection for when you reel a fish on top of the screen, and made it so it will restart the game when catching fishes. Finally, I had added some simple screen transitions, and here's the final result. Thank you so much for watching this devlog. Even though the game is currently quite simple, I really enjoyed making all of this. Next time I will try to improve fish spawning as well as add one more fish. I will also work on the area traversal part, deciding if I go with top-down movement or 2D movement, and I will try to make simple NPC dialogues. See you in a month for another devlog. Goodbye.